I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
still
just like,
Pope.
yeah, this is poor stuff. Because you kill baby Diego, and then the next in line is now famous. It's low key a super pro colonization statement.
Soviet-looking tenements, looking all dystopian.
Yeah, not so clean. We have seen things like this. Can you
The
can you
Power
can
Glove.
yeah. Today we're watching Children of Men from 2006. What'd you think?
Children of Men from 2006. I give it an 8 out of 10. I really, really like this movie. I felt the dystopia. I felt the world was plausible. I mean, the universe that Theo is moving through felt plausible. I like how the world wasn't fully explained. I thought the pacing was excellent. Like we're going on this journey with Theo, and it felt like I'm on the journey. I don't have time to think. I felt like it was great pacing. I do like Clive Owen. I haven't seen him in a while. I am reminded that I actually like him as an actor. And I really felt his death at the end. He's a reluctant hero. He made the sacrifice. I felt it.
What do you mean
Um,
reluctant hero?
Reluctant hero. He decided to, I don't know, buy into the system as flawed as it was and make his way. But then throughout his journey in the movie, he did heroic things, but he didn't really want to at the beginning.
I see what you're saying. He's not in it for his own personal glory. The situation is thrust upon him, and then he has to rise to. Okay, I see. I see.
Right, right.
I agree with
He's
that.
not like Luke Skywalker who's like looking to be a hero. He's more like an office worker who's thrust into a situation and he steps up, but he doesn't want to because he has an apartment. Um, yeah, so I felt his death. All of these things were fantastic. There were some negatives though. I felt like the movie couldn't decide if it was about immigration or fertility. They didn't. They kind of clashed a little bit. Sometimes I felt there was a caricature. There were caricatures of characters, like some of the immigration enforcers and refugees. It all felt kind of cliche, caricature-like. And I'm not sure everything in the story was fully thought through. Like different aspects of the story didn't necessarily follow one another. Like the fact that there's no fertility, how does that mean that there's an immigration problem? They don't seem that related. But overall, I really like the movie. So for me, 8 out of 10. What about you? What did you think?
For similar reasons, I gave it a 2 out of 10. This is one of the worst science fiction films I've ever seen. I mean, there are some hot garbage out there, but this thing has high quality production, but it made me angry. So first the pros. So good casting, excellent casting. I like all the characters. The acting was very good. Like they're very believable characters. And there's a different vibe from these 2006 films. If you haven't seen these these 90s and 2000s films, go back and watch them. It's a very different vibe. The reason I say that is because they're these long single camera, like slow shots. There's a different pacing to it. Whereas now it's like every 3 seconds, every 4 seconds, it's like new angle, new angle, new angle, which generates its own type of tension, but it's like an anxious tension because you're on your seat, at the edge of your seat because there's new information all the time. Whereas in these older science fiction films, the long shots draw out like a tension from the scene, not because of manufactured editing where they're like shoving information at you. So very different feel, very different vibe. Go give it a watch. Now, dystopian science fiction is not really my cup of science fiction generally, but I convinced myself that it's legit. And so dystopian sci-fi is like if you take an idea and you say, what if society was a little bit different? How would that society progress? How would it be different? And I think that is legitimate. It's imagining what worlds could be based off of one little change. And so it's in the same vein as Hunger Games, same vein as Soylent Green or Planet of the Apes. And I think these are all legitimate science fictions. You have an idea. What if the world was taken over by apes, and then what would their society evolve like? How would it be, and how would they treat humans? I think legitimate sci-fi. And so that's this metric that I've been coming up with here. You've seen it come up through the course of our channel developing. And so this metric that I really like is there a scientific kernel? Is there like an idea of if this was true but instead false, how would society then change? And so in this movie, in Children of Men, the kernel is what would happen to society if we stopped having babies? Okay, now the problem, I mean, I like the idea, but the problem with this is that I don't think a lot of the movie follows from that. And so if humans stopped having babies, why did we have World War III? Why did the UK close its borders? Why were there refugees? Why were we doing this? It felt like, here's an idea, here's a fantasy. Let's see what happens with the society, and then here's a bunch of scary stuff. You should feel bad about that, and you should feel bad about this, and you should feel bad about this. But it felt like the idea, the origin, the kernel of the idea of the story, that we can't have babies, was just thrown away. And so that feels to me like manipulation, and I don't like it. And it's hard. It pulls me out of the story, and it makes me disengage with it, and I'm not in the world thinking, oh yeah, this would make sense, or what could happen, or what might be happening next. It's just, you're throwing stuff at me because you want to say your current political stuff at me. It's very frustrating. The okay thing, I guess, it's a con. I wrote it as a con, that they never explain why the humans no longer have babies. Now that's a little bit dissatisfying as scientists. Like, I want the answer, but actually it's actually okay, because there are active scientific mysteries that we don't know the answers to. And so if you don't have the answer, you can't say what the answer is. And I think it's okay that in this world here, in this universe of children of men, they don't know yet. The frustrating thing is that science moves very slowly before we like concrete stamp and like, this is embedded into our understanding of the world. Science moves very slowly, but scientists move very quickly. We're very rapidly coming up with ideas for explanations. I think this also applies to engineers. If you show a picture of a bridge collapsing to a civil engineer, I think they're rapidly saying like, why did this bridge collapse? Instead of here, they're 18 years later and just be like, their bridge fell down. We don't know. Like, I think there needs to be guesses at explanations. Another con of this film is that there's religious parallels. I mean, in principle, okay. It's just kind of annoying that, like, why are you shoving religion into science fiction? It doesn't take away from the movie too much, but it's also kind of like, why is this here? And then the thing that irked me right at the end is that when people finally see the baby, the reactions are really dull, really like okay, like a baby, like. But no, if you lived in the world of this science fiction film, if you lived in this world of children of men where you haven't seen a baby for 18 years, and so all of humanity it's toast. It's like everyone in the world, they're saying like, this is the last generation of humans. If you suddenly see a baby, this is world shattering. This is mind shattering. Like, down on the ground weeping. Like there's hope. There's hope still that humanity might survive. And I just didn't see that. So it felt very like the world was not lived in by the writers, by the directors. I'm not sure, but they really didn't think what it would be like to be in that world and to experience what it would be like. Instead, we kind of just got their political statements.
It's so interesting because to me, I felt engrossed in the world and I was able to forgive a lot of the problems. It's interesting how I was able to forgive and felt engrossed, but you were not able to forgive and did not feel engrossed.
I will say,
so interesting.
So I'll say that when science fiction films are like deep in the future, 1,000 years, 10,000 years in the future, I'm much more forgiving because I don't know how society has changed over time. When science fiction films are put in the near present, then I want to see how they're connected from where we got to now to where they are in the future. And I want to see that scientific, that question, that kernel, that the little twist of how our world works now to how the world works in the movie. I want to see how would that then create the problems that we later on have to encounter in the film. I just didn't see it. There's the idea of we don't have kids, and then there's like this scary thing and this scary thing and this scary thing. And so as an audience member, like, you want me to feel these things, but I don't know why you're telling me to feel that. Like, you're just throwing scary stuff at me.
Gosh, yeah, because this is how I felt. Your feeling is how I felt about The Last of Us, where it felt like we have the zombie premise, but who cares? Let's talk about relationships, and let's talk about death, and let's talk about this other thing. But like, and this love story, but what about the premise? I thought we were in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, like that town that was fully operational with lights and power and water is like,
yeah. Like, what the heck?
Are we afraid of drawing in zombies at night? Why do we have lights on?
Yeah. So I can't quite figure out why I was unable to forgive The Last of Us, but I am able to forgive Children of Men. I don't have an answer other than I felt things. Very interesting.
I think in both of these instances, if they had in Last of Us, if they had built up these like interpersonal connections, but it made sense given that the zombies are around, then it's okay because you have a scientific kernel. Like, what if they're zombies? And then I need to be able to see the small steps along the way to therefore we have these problems that we have to deal with in the movie. But if we have a little kernel and then kind of irrelevant problems, then I don't know why these problems are occurring. Like, there's lots of reasons why the problems in Children of Men could have occurred. I don't see what that has to do with not having babies.
Yeah. I mean, I intellectually see it. I still feel the movie as I watch it. So I gave it a high score. But I see it. I see the problems. I don't get it. It's very much like Star Trek 2009. I love that movie. Every time I watch it, it's like, yes. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this story doesn't make any sense.
Okay, but that movie's a good time. That movie's a good time. Yeah, you're right. If you really think about Star Trek 2009, it's like there's lots of problems.
Lots of problems.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's get into it.
So I thought of a good example for how the moral story makes sense in a science fiction universe. A really good example is Jurassic Park. So you have, what if dinosaurs came back and then the dinosaurs get out of control and then they say, well, this is man's hubris and problems came because we thought we could control everything, and so now you're in a naturally occurring problem. And there you can do your social shaming, your social messaging. Makes sense, feels fine, not a problem. It's when it's disjointed, when the kernel and the messaging is separated, when it's non sequitur, then I just don't see what you're doing. You're just shoveling stuff at me.
Right, when the things, the political statements and the social statements you want to say don't fall out of the premise, but it's just sort of tacked on.
Feels bad. But if it does fall out of the premise, whoo, that's good storytelling. That's incredible. That's right, a good feeling.
It's good, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie, Children of Men. So this is at the beginning. This is child celebrity. This is the death. They're talking about the death of the youngest person in the world.
The world was stunned today by the death of Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet, stabbed outside a bar in Buenos Aires after refusing to sign an autograph.
He struggled all his life with the celebrity status thrust upon him as the world's youngest person.
Yeah, so in the world where there's no children, then the youngest person would have some celebrity status, as they say, like thrust upon them. And so there's probably, certainly fame. There's probably some money aspects because people want you to be on camera or want you to endorse stuff. And so my question is, would this create a black market, like an underground secret society, like assassination stuff, right? Because you kill baby Diego and then the next in line is now famous.
So assuming there's a list like 1 through 10, and number 1 is baby Diego, number 2 is then, baby Tran, and then number 3 is baby Mike, and it's down the line. Then number 2 has a big incentive to kill number 1 because he or she goes from
a nobody,
lesser celebrity to somebody. So yeah, there's a big incentive to assassinate.
Yeah, I think there would be massive markets for assassinations.
I think there would also be massive markets for forgery. Were they all synced up when the baby popped?
That's right.
Is it?
I have this question when people are like, "This is the first baby of 2026." Like, how did you know 2025, the year that's coming up? Like, how did you get your stamp as like, I'm the first baby? Like, there's got to be some contention there.
Well, you're given birth on the plane following the sunrise. Wait, no, not the sunrise. You want to be in the middle of the night. Right at the international date line, and then pop.
Yeah, but like, say there's 24 hours in a day. That means there's 24 opportunities for that person to be like, well, at the start of my day, like, I was born first.
It's true. Actually, if somebody's born in like Hawaii, first baby of the year, but
at
somebody on the other side of
the
somebody on the other side of the planet is born earlier, but still in 2024, who's earlier? It's got to be the baby in the
wait. Wait, I think you said it wrong. I think you. Wait, so there's Hawaii at 00002025.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
also someone in Moscow, 00002025. Right, so because of the international date line, the person in Moscow was born first, but on the papers they're all 00002025.
Right.
So
Okay,
that
I said it
means
wrong,
if you want to
but-
have the young, like the first person born, you need to fly. You need to fly to the international date line. And be like,
Yeah.
I'm having my kid here.
But it's also possible for somebody to be born in 2025, but be born later than somebody who was born in 2024. So I think if you're so you're in Japan, you're in 2025, January 1st. You are born. No, I lost my.
So it's Japan, you're 000. You're born
Yeah.
in 2025,
Yeah.
but somebody in I don't know,
Hawaii.
in Tijuana. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They're still in 2024, but they have not been born yet. Wait.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's not what-
there's still a 24-hour window where you could be
Right.
born after someone that's born in 2025.
But still in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, so who's born
And so-
first, right?
who's
Do you
born
use,
first?
like the number or like the chronological star time or something? Or,
Yeah, what is that? It's UTC time, sidereal time.
oh, we should use sidereal time to mark all of our births.
Yeah.
Reference
And so
reference different stars.
baby Diego must be the earliest in sidereal time. No time
Or the
zones,
last.
no nothing.
Right. The
say?
absolute last birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how could they time that out? How would they know? There could be some village in Africa where they're not like keeping track of the birth rate because who cares?
That's right. That's right.
Who's actually the youngest? So
Yeah, so I
if
guess-
I forge my papers.
That's right. Which sounds like you get a black market for assassinations.
That's right. If somebody's a better forger, next step, kill.
Which is not, I mean, that's fine. They didn't talk about it in this movie. Maybe Children of Men 2 is like an action film and we follow around like assassins.
Actually, that's kind of a cool premise. I like it.
Cool premise, right? So this is in London, and this is we can it's always like a fun game in dystopian sci-fis, or I guess in sci-fi in general, try to figure out what year is it, what's the situation going on here, right? And so the sky gave me a vibe of a dystopian future because real smoggy,
Yeah.
right?
Smoggy, yeah. A little haze, right? I like that.
Seems like pollution,
But-
seems like
But modern cities have pollution, though, don't they? Like if I
that's
show
true.
modern London, is it going to be completely pristine?
yeah, no. Yeah, I guess okay. So yeah, my experience with LA, like when it's a rainy day, like the sky clears up. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Also nice right in front of it, in center, and right here down below in that box, that telephone box
Okay,
or power
yeah.
box, whatever.
This
There's
thing,
like
yeah.
graffiti stuff, right? Tagging stuff. So society is not clean. It's not like people are not behaving properly in society. There's some dystopian stuff going on there, right?
Yeah, I've never seen this in a modern society at all, ever. It's always clean.
You sound sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic. I have seen.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
a good point. Yeah, that's right. Even in my smallish city here. Okay. So this SUV, we can look at the SUV.
Okay,
This
yes,
also
this one.
gave me dystopian vibes because there's
Okay.
bars across the windows.
Okay.
Like, how rough is this place, right? You got to bar up your windows so people don't break in.
I mean, this guy could be an off-roader, taking this thing off-roading out in the country.
Gosh, I have seen those pictures. I have people like they go off-roading on their Jeeps. Yeah, this is like a Jeep Cherokee or something, and like they put these bars up so they don't break the windows. Okay, I have seen that.
I mean, it doesn't look
Okay,
like a
okay,
good
okay.
society. It doesn't look like a good society, but
Okay. Even if
Could
it's
be
not, even if it's not dystopian, it's still
Okay.
future, right? Okay. Look at these signs. These are super cool.
like
So
this
these
one.
green signs, yeah, exactly. Can we zoom on that? It says prepare to stop, and it
Okay.
has this like transparenty, cool,
Yeah.
futuristic, like I don't know, the transparent screen thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's. I guess that does tell us it's in the future.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Mm-hmm.
So we get this feeling of they're still driving cars. They don't have like flying cars, but they got these transparent, futuristic-y signs. So
Yeah.
future.
Okay, yeah, I see it. There's another one over here.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare to stop. Yeah. I guess now that I'm looking at it, These signs are kind of translucent.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see right through them.
Transparent.
Right. I think that means they should be opaque.
Why? What do you
Shouldn't
mean?
they? Well, because
I mean, that's how they are now, but what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, if there's clutter behind these signs or just sky, it's going to be hard to read. Right? These are bad signs. These are bad signs.
I see what you're saying. Because if we were a little bit to the left, then you'd have
Yeah.
white text on top of white
Yeah.
sky. That you can't see that scene.
Right.
Sign.
So these are cool sci-fi signs, and you can update the signs as needed through the cloud
Yeah, cool.
if you want, like on your phone. But they need to be opaque. I think this means London bought these signs with the lowest bidder. There's some serious corruption going on. These are bad signs. This is a sign of dystopia.
Because local
signs.
government didn't properly vet the signs and think about the scenarios in which they would be used. They just went cheap, and like it looks cool,
Yeah.
but actually it's like if you saw a stop sign but you couldn't read the word stop and it wasn't even red, like you just looked through it. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
but that's
safe.
good. Okay, dystopian. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So clearly dystopian future by these clues here.
Yeah, I guess if we put it all together,
Yeah.
signs included. That's the critical part for me. It's a dystopian future.
Cool storytelling.
Yeah. What about these? I don't know, rickshaws. I don't see those in London. What is it? Why are these? Why does this feel poor?
Okay, so I've seen rickshaws in like tourist locations where the people are going to have to walk a lot, and then a guy would be like, "Oh, come on my rickshaw," and then I'll tell you like stories about this history of the city. So that doesn't necessarily feel poor to me. These do kind of. Maybe it's the thinness of the wheels or the walls or something.
Yeah. And gosh, if people are using it for their daily commute, it's kind of a crappy city.
That's not good.
But if it's used for tourism to be like, oh my God, yeah. Oh,
sightseeing.
so cool.
Yeah, look, this is the bridge. Yeah.
Then it's okay.
But this is not a sightseeing part of town.
Yeah,
This
these
is
feel
just like-
pope.
Yeah, this is poor stuff.
This is poor stuff.
Dystopian.
Dystopian. Absolutely.
So on the train, we see this video, and it's low key a super pro colonization statement. So all these cities are having turmoil because they don't have kids. I don't know why.
A diverse amount of cities.
But only Britain soldiers on, and so, gosh, it feels bad. It feels bad, but this is a really good pro-colonization statement.
Wait. I don't. Why is it a pro-colonization statement?
Okay, so the world stops having kids.
Okay.
And then every other country in the planet, they start attacking each other or collapsing or crumbling or whatever. And so England is the only one that survives. Like England, like the king of colonizers, is the only one that were able to keep their stuff together, keep it organized. Like maybe the whole world should be run by Britain, right? If the whole world had colonized everything, they'd just stamp out the problems, keep it together, stiff upper lip. We're British people. Like it could be okay. Like clearly they're the only ones that survived.
First off, England or Britain? Which one?
I don't know the difference. The same thing to me. Okay, wait. So UK is all three of the countries, or four? There's England, Scotland, Ireland, and
Northern Ireland. Wait. England,
Oh,
Scotland,
oh,
Wales,
come down on
Northern
me.
Ireland.
wait, I was over talking you. Say it again.
England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. 4. That's
Okay.
UK.
Okay.
And then Britain is the island of Britain. And then England is
Can we bring up
England.
a graphic of this?
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have to do this now.
United Kingdom. Here we go. Let's go to Wikipedia. Sure.
Oh, it looks like that picture is UK and Ireland.
Okay.
Derp.
This is not helping. Let's do an image search here. Image search here. Here we go. Gotta be this one right here.
Okay, that's a good picture. Yeah.
Let's bring this
Of course, in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Of course they would.
What the heck? Come on. I need where to go?
Are we a sci-fi channel? Is that okay?
Oh my gosh.
Now we're
Let's
committed.
go.
We're doing this.
Here.
I
Okay.
just
I'm
want
gonna
that- I just
save
want
it. I'm gonna
that
save
picture.
it.
Oh heck, that picture right below your mouse. This blue,
This one?
green, red, a little bit to
This
left. This thing. I think that's what we want.
But I think, but this has got the groupings we want. Okay, I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm looking. Where is it? So long.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Oh no. Gosh, that is frustrating. Like okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open image in new tab. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Okay. So let's zoom out here. Okay. So the British Isles are the red.
All of them.
Which is Britain and Ireland. Ireland is green, which is this island. Great Britain is the purple.
Oh my gosh, so complicated.
And then the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is the blue, the dark blue.
So they have
England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland.
So they have not colonized their own land? Like,
what are we doing here?
What are all these distinctions?
First off, let's get Ireland done. Let's include them. Gosh, but isn't that they fought wars over this? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's confusing. UK needs to get its stuff together.
Okay, my personal American ignorance aside, this is a pretty good statement for Britain was the only country in this entire world that kept it together, and they were able to stay organized and not collapse. Like, that's a really good pro them being in charge of people, which is like, it's just terrible. But I guess that's really good science fiction because it's like an uncomfortable possibility that maybe would work better. It feels bad.
So let me summarize. The world has collapsed except Great Britain.
Yep.
Britain soldiers on. In which case, if Britain had exported its culture through colonization, the rest of the world might not have collapsed.
That's what I'm saying.
Therefore, Britain should have been a stronger colonizer because it would have helped the world be more prosperous as fertility went away. Is that right?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I mean, in summary, the British Empire, let's bring it back.
Bring it back.
It's coming back, baby.
Okay, the weird thing is also this was on their train. Like, it's on their televisions just blasting all the time.
I think that makes sense. I mean, okay, in the modern world, we have like advertising and different corporate things, government things all the time, and we just sort of tune it out. Maybe this is similar here, where they're just tuning this out. It's just always there as a reminder.
I've heard that for our American, like you get commercials for various medications. Yeah. And foreigners are like, "What are you? Like, why is this on television? Like, what are you getting advertisements? Like, that should be through your doctor." But for American people, are like, new drug.
Yeah. I don't want high cholesterol, so I should take the thingy that's on the TV.
So I should consult my doctor and ask them about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's how it works. Yep.
This is another thinking about what is the world situation, and these future wildfires are wild.
I bet it was the government. Every time one of our politicians is in trouble, a bomb explodes.
Like wildfire, there's no one standing there with gasoline. I have to assume it's a wildfire, but the wildfires in this dystopian future don't go after trees. Like, they go after like the cow seeking. They like find the cows in the field, and the rest of the field isn't burning at all. Like, it's only the cows.
Wait, are you saying that somehow the lack of fertility caused the cows to like spontaneously combust in groups or something?
Well, I don't think it's spontaneous. I mean, there's probably some start of it, just like how like wildfires in California are often some kid with the fireworks that like start off, right? But in this scenario, somebody threw the cigarette on the ground, and instead of the fire spreading throughout the trees and the shrubs, which look very green, very healthy, the wildfire spread to the cows. Like, what dystopian future are we in where fire seeks animals, seeks cows specifically?
Okay. Maybe there's a disease that caused the infertility, which came from cows.
Okay.
And
nature is getting retribution. Nature's like, you hurt my humans, I'm gonna get you, cows.
And somehow the cows are pre-jerkied, they're drying out.
Yep. And
so when the match or the cigarette throw it into the field, the grass is moist because it's England, rains all the time. Yep. But the cows are becoming shriveled.
Have been jerked out.
And then
yes, I guess. I mean, okay, if I can assume that the cows have been dehydrated, then okay, yeah, fine. I just thought it was some type of future fire that knows how to find cows.
Oh, you're thinking it's like, wait.
Semi-sentient fire that does not like cows. It's dystopian future. What are the rules? Like dystopian future.
That's absurdly nightmarish. A sentient
Right?
fire that seeks out animals.
Cows specifically, but yeah. I don't know why
you
it
don't
doesn't like
know.
cows.
You don't know.
That's not for me. I don't know, but
Maybe the sentient fire sought out cows and fetuses.
fetus. I don't know. Maybe.
And that's the
But
reason.
what a scary world. Like nothing.
It's super
Nothing's on fire except the cows.
It's such a nightmare. Such a
Everything
nightmare.
else, right? I like beef.
Such a nightmare.
Right? Nothing. Yeah, just the cows.
I mean, there could be some beef left on there. I can't even.
No,
Okay.
too charred. Can't eat it.
So this is Jasper. This is Theo. We're going to Jasper's house. It's concealed by this line of bushes. This is terrible concealment. Terrible. Okay, so this is like the driveway over here to the right. There's this open road. They're supposed to be Jasper's house is supposed to be concealed. Somebody could drive by. Like, what are these people doing?
That's right. Somebody, let's move the shrubbery from our secret base, a secret home here. But like somebody could walk up in them. Somebody could drive up and be like, "Hey, why are you guys moving bushes around?"
Yeah, what's with the bushes? Also, it's really bad because it's not like they pulled off to the side of the road, so traffic can go by freely. No, traffic comes by. I've got to like either stop or go around, like drawing my attention to what are these people doing?
That's right. I mean, it is dashed white, so you can go around. Like, it's not illegal, but yeah, you have to go around. And be like, what are these? You're gonna looky-loo. You're gonna be like, what are these people doing?
What are these people
Oh,
doing?
there's a secret driveway there. I'm come back at night.
Come back at night, go steal stuff. I mean,
Steal some stuff.
most people probably wouldn't want to do that, but there's going to be marauders. We know there's societal breakdown. This is terrible concealment.
Terrible.
What about the one we had lunch with, Lauren? Oh, I liked her. What happened?
She decided to renounce. They're the repenters.
Yeah, Gus, you're driving by, and they're doing this.
Yep. And they're like, all the leaves on the ground are dragged out of the way. Did you notice? Look at those plants. The plants that they're holding onto right now, super green, super alive. But if you look on the bottom, where are the roots?
Oh, that's right. It's only like a tiny bit of sod or something.
But these plants are super healthy, super green, right? They look great. Like, they're not fake plants.
Are they fake plants? They could be fake plants.
So I don't know. I don't know what the rules are of this dystopian future. So I mean, if fires can seek cows, my thought was future plants don't need roots anymore. I guess.
Okay, so if they're
I don't know.
okay, if they're fake, if the plants are fake,
Yeah.
then it's okay. They don't need roots because it's plastic.
Yeah. Sure.
But then they might look kind of weird standing out against wild plants.
Right. Because they're not
if you're
going to be the
looking
right
for
color,
behind it.
and especially in the wrong seasons, it's going to be wrong.
That's right.
So
That's
I
right.
think if his home has not been detected, these plants must change with the season, which to me means they're real plants.
They're real plants.
But real plants
means-
don't need roots.
Is Jasper coming here and like re-upping the plants, making sure they're healthy all the time?
You cannot upkeep that. That's too much.
I mean, what other explanation is there?
The other explanation is the one that we're left with, is that the plants don't have. What do you put your head down? This is logically tight.
It is. So you're saying the plants don't need roots anymore?
Or they're just super shallow. They're like 2-centimeter roots or something. I don't know.
I mean, I actually don't know how roots work now that I'm thinking about it. Are there plants with a root system that shallow?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not a plantologist. I'm not. That's stupid. I'm not. I don't know plants that well.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that shallow.
It's also weird that they're completely detached from the ground. You'd think they would eventually start to grow into the ground and be difficult to move.
Right.
There got to be a better way to do this.
I haven't gotten caught yet, though. So
I haven't got caught yet, though. Yeah, what am I saying?
This is crazy. This is okay. Look at that clock there. It's 7:59. Okay, let's watch the
7:59?
clip. 7:59. Do you hear the alarm?
Okay, what's wrong with that? Alarm, it's early in the morning.
Yeah, but as soon as it turned to 8 o'clock, the alarm went off. Like, Theo is some psychopath. Like, who does this? Who sets their alarm clock for 7:59? It's 8 o'clock. Set it for 8 o'clock.
That is weird. That is weird.
That's super weird. Who are we watching in this movie?
So, yeah, what scenario would you need to get up at 7:59 versus 8 o'clock?
The scenario is I'm a crazy person, and I set up my alarms for obscure numbers like this. What is this?
A 1-minute snooze, maybe?
A micro.
I need 1 minute of snooze, baby.
So crazy. But write in the comments if this is psychopath stuff or if you also are a 7:59 enjoyer. What a weird thing.
There may be spurgy people out there that do things like this.
Unless there are fans, they're not spurgs.
They're cool people.
Yeah. Nice view, though. Look at this apartment.
Yeah, seriously. I think this is Theo's apartment, and he's living in a dystopian society. Mm-hmm. He's high up. He's got a room all to himself. It's pretty good digs.
Yeah, I'd be happier.
But
nice
we
view.
do get some dystopian vibe. Look at this smog here, like blocking out the sun, turning it orange. We've got these like Soviet-looking tenements, looking all dystopian.
Yeah, not so clean.
And these even look like add-ons. These like
the parts that are sticking out.
Yeah, they look kind of shabby, honestly.
What a bummer for the people that are to the east, so they don't get to see that. No, west. They don't get to see that sunrise. They get to see a side of a building.
Oh yeah, I mean that kind of jockeying happens in real life, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Until a building goes up here, bam,
boom, dystopian.
Oh, but a building won't go up because they don't need any more tenements because there's no more people.
That's right. Property value is plummeting. Dystopia.
Yeah, dystopia. Also, clean up your room. Oh, he gets a radiator?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that hard to come by? Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I see where you're going. This is an interesting idea. For things that are not consumable, their values would plummet because as people die, then there's just surplus stuff around.
Oh, so maybe the radiator isn't worth that much because there's lots of radiators out there. As people die, the surplus stuff becomes available.
As long as people are dying faster than things are breaking.
I also see why Theo doesn't want to do this hero's journey in the movie. Like, he has a stable job. He has an apartment that's decent, with a nice view. Why would I want to stick my neck out? God. I have the
Why would I
freedom
want to
set
stick my
my
neck
alarm
out when I can wake up every morning at 7:59 a.m.?
7:59, yeah. I can set my alarm whenever I want. It's complete freedom.
So weird. Psychopath stuff. Okay, this is in the city, and this is another instance of we can tell what's going on in the world just by what's in the scenery. So definitely dystopian because there's a report all illegal immigrants. Like, gosh.
Yep.
First of all, also that all is kind of unnecessary. If report illegal immigrants would have been sufficient. Like, you get paid by the letter. What are you doing here?
We need all of them.
And then there's this watchtower in the background there. That's
yeah.
This seemingly like a watchtower on a not gate. It's just randomly in the city. That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. There's also these boarded up windows on this fairly nice building, meaning it's abandoned in there maybe, or some looters came by and threw bricks through it, and they don't have the money to fix it up.
Right.
Pretty
it's not worth
dystopian
it to fix it. I also noticed this car on the right is parked.
Okay.
And the car in the middle is driving.
Yep.
Which means the width of that street is super narrow. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like wide streets.
It's bustling with people too.
Problems.
It's
bustling with actually bustling with people. That's a good thing, right? Because that means that these people have adopted a walking lifestyle.
That's true. I mean, in the United States today, we have too much car culture, so we don't walk enough, and so we're fairly unhealthy. Sedentary lifestyle. These people out and about, walking around, getting a little heart rate action. That's right.
Good for the joints. Good for the legs.
They may be walking from no job to a riot, but they're getting that cardio.
Good cardio, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Getting their steps in. I also noticed this food stand on the left.
Oh yeah,
like
it
overflowing.
That is
dystopian, but they got plenty of food.
It's weird because it looks like a dilapidated, like poor market, but at the same time, there's so much food. It's like overflowing in the streets. Like the merchant doesn't care that this food is now lost revenue. There's just so much of it. It's like surplus. Like, what's going on?
Like, it's dystopian, but things are going well.
I mean, okay, so this is why the illegals want to come to Britain. Yeah, not perfect. Totalitarian. We got watchtowers. We got problems.
Gosh.
But there is food that exists that is available to buy and eat. I mean, that's pretty big.
Plentiful. Like they're not strapped. It's not like an empty food stall. Like it's overflown. And heck, even this police officer. Look at this police officer on the right.
Oh,
He's not like rolling by in a big SUV, like shouting at you through the windows. Like he's there with the people.
That's right. The beat cops are on the ground on horses.
Getting to know the community. It's pretty okay.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense within this scenario because Britain has prosperity, relatively speaking, and security. There's not some big thing going on right here.
True.
So there's negative points, but the cops aren't just beating people.
That's right.
Actually, this cop is an internal cop. The cops that enforce immigration we see later in the movie are pretty rough. But this cop, which is internal security to Britain,
seems to be nice.
Seems to be nice. Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, interesting.
Cool.
Lots of dichotomies in the realities of living in Britain. This movie was made in 2006. That's almost 20 years ago. Here's a prediction for tech in 2027. So they were predicting tech 21 years in the future. Did they get this right?
That's cool. We only got a hold of 2 Goyas. That thing in Madrid was a real blow to art. We got to keep Las Molinas and a few other Velasquez.
So we've got this interesting control. So we just have controllers like this, right? Today. Regular console controllers or a keyboard and mouse. But he's got this weird, like, bionic thing going on.
Individual fingers and, like, the way the wire flexes produces a voltage in his wristband, and then it tells... Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Okay, first off, this isn't happening in 2027, most likely. It's in late 2024 now. I don't see this tech coming out. However, should it be coming out?
We have seen things like this.
Power Glove.
Yeah. Can you look up?
Let's look at Power Glove.
Power Glove?
The
That's
Nintendo,
the Nintendo one.
From like the 80s, right?
Right.
Gosh, it was terrible.
I never had this one. I did have the PlayStation glove. Can we look that one up too?
Okay, PlayStation glove. 1 second. PlayStation. This one?
Yeah. Hot garbage. It was so terrible.
Yeah.
It's like you like turned your hand to go left, and then it also was up and down, left and right, and then you had the buttons with your fingers. It was just why? What am I doing with my left hand that I can't do this?
Well, you should get practice with your left hand.
But it was right hand only.
So, but look how cool this kid is with the Power Glove.
Pretty cool.
Gosh, it's hot garbage though, because the controller is right here.
Pretty much had a controller anyway, so it was this action.
Yeah, and so, but this is like this thing from Children of Men is actually getting the small, minute finger movements. So it's better than the Power Glove.
It's true. Better than this thing too.
And this thing is just bad.
I mean, okay, that's a good point. So it's like comparing old capacitive touchscreens versus now touchscreens. I don't know how they work, but yeah, if we were to look at those old tech, we'd be like, oh, touchscreens are trash. No one's ever going to want them. Like, but technology can update.
So I don't think this is happening by 2027, but is this some kind of tech that we should have where we, instead of like a keyboard, we have like...
Yeah, right.
Like that?
I don't know. That'd be cool.
Although it's bothering me, these wires aren't straight. Or like...
But maybe that's the good part of this technology. You don't have to have it be precisely like lined up to your fingers. You have to, if your fingers move at all, then there's a problem. Right. Like, there's some wiggle room and it'll adjust to whatever your hand needs.
Yeah, it's like self-calibrating. It doesn't need precise like wiring and stuff.
Exactly. Otherwise, it'd be one hand fits all. Like one size fits.
Oh yeah.
Just the right hands.
But then, what is he playing? I think this is a good prediction. This is some kind of
very good prediction.
This like addicting mobile games, where he's like sitting at the table, like
not paying
brain
attention
rot.
To the family. Yeah.
Or
for there were people that got in accidents, like car accidents, because they were playing Bejeweled, which is basically this, but this thing's 3D, Like he's like lining up the colors and then they disappear. That's Bejeweled. And people have gotten in actual car accidents because they were like playing with their phone instead of driving. Like totally reasonable and guess into the future.
Yeah, super. The controller I'm not seeing in 2027, but this mobile game addiction, totally. Is Bejeweled still around? It must be.
I don't know. Maybe.
Check it out later.
Check Facebook.